Biggs, I suppose, is sort of mediating between the various alpha males in the story. Not being an alpha male myself, I was perfectly says more of a sort of gamma male. He's not one. He didn't take the conventional route of earning his spurs in the line of fire. You know, pounding the beat and you know, facing down villains. He decided to take a more circuitous route to the top. He has his own ambitions, and that is part of the problem for this character and for all the characters, is that it's hard to separate out their personal ambitions as against their grander ideological ambitions to do the right thing, because there are many instances, of course, where doing the right thing, morally the right thing, also happens to be the most advantageous thing. Biggs is certainly in that area. He is a mixture of personal advancement, trying to further his own career, but also trying to see that the right thing is done. One of the things that really interested me about this story, I'll be honest, was that very often in films, film representations of crime stories, or characters only really come to life at the beginning of the film and they sort of die at the end of the film. What's interesting about this is that you realize as the film unfolds that so much of what happens between these characters is determined by things that happened 20 years ago, when they were shiny-faced 19-year-olds who, or whatever age it is when you join the police service. And the sort of formative experiences they went through that either bonded them together as brothers in arms or actually set them against each other as rivals, and the various sort of jealousies and the competitive element of their lives, I think is one of the interesting things about it. Do you think, well, in any given situation, these characters are making, you know, purely moral decisions about the right and the wrong thing to do? But of course, human beings are not like that. Human beings are colored and motivated at every turn by past experiences. He has a very intuitive sense, I think, of what is real and what is not, what is believable, and also what serves the story. He has, thank God, that in abundance, the quality that directors need more than almost anything else, and which is confidence. He knows his own vision, and he knows the tone and the atmosphere of what he's trying to create, and doesn't shrink from communicating that. And if he hasn't got it, he will quite bluntly say it. The whole story, I think, is about a sort of moral compromise, moral equivocation in a way. It's a very shadowy sort of a story with very shadowy characters, and it's not immediately easy to place them in obvious positions on a sort of moral scale. And I absolutely agree that Los Angeles lends itself very well to that sort of moral grayness in a way. It is a sunny city, and it's a place. It's the home of entertainment, etc., etc. However, I find it a very secretive place. I think it may be something to do with cars, something to do with the fact that people are very separated from each other. They're not cheek by jowl. They're not living on top of each other. They're not necessarily jostling against each other on the buses and the subways. People are very sort of are able to live very secret lives, and it makes the city a mysterious place.